Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Are we going to see the sun today? We are on our sunrise stroll and chat, but who knows? Are we going to see the sun today? It's very calm and peaceful. And there we have Tiberias. 2002 years ago, Tiberias was named capital of Galilee by Herod Antipas, Herod the Tetrarch. And the birds are dancing. We just saw a nutria here in the water, swimming like 3 weeks ago we had one. He was visiting the cousins over the other side. Some people who are with me this morning, this is a very special live stream. We have many guests. And they were telling me that the Sea of Galilee is filled with nutria. And somebody else wrote to me a couple of weeks ago and said that there was some animal, I'm not sure if it's the same one, that was brought here for fur. And they multiplied. First of all, they were farmed and then they went wild because the industry was not so great. The fur was not high quality. And they were released to nature, and there are a lot of those folks around here as well. Now, the people you're seeing on the screen, these are not the nutria. You see, here we are seeing some people, like in the Bible, it says Moses could only see God from his back. So here you can see all these people made in the image and likeness of Elohim. And we have a very special morning today with so many guests live. I am waiting for this to happen every day when you all come back to visit the Holy Land. So this is marvelous because there is a lady here, her name is Yisca. And she is sitting here, we will introduce her in a moment. And she organizes many courses. And her courses are always making connections. And I think one thing I love about it is she is helping Israelis understand Christians in a very professional way, filled with heart and personal experience. And this is beautiful because we have to understand each other. And today is actually the World Day of Diversity, and I don't know if I have the term right, dialogue and cultural development. You know, when we meet somebody who's different than us, this even helps us to understand ourselves. And it helps us also to understand the other, of course. And then we can have dialogue. And we can work together in this world with so many challenges. And today we are all happy because finally there seems to be a ceasefire that's holding. And we need to pray for common sense. And there we got that bird. For common sense and respect for the other. Now, something very special happened yesterday, and I will show you Yisca first from her back. Here's Yisca waving to you. You know, this is interesting. You know, Moses said, God said to Moses, you can only see me from my back. But we will be able to see Yisca straight up as well. But yesterday, this group, you arrived here. Today is, what is today? Friday. So So you arrived Wednesday afternoon. And then yesterday morning, they went to sunrise on Mount Berenice. I think they called it Mount Berenice, right? In here locally. And they were up in Tiberias, or over in Tiberias, or down in Tiberias. But they were on a hill. We can't really see it from here, but just over there. And the sun was very beautiful yesterday, like you probably saw on the sunrise stroll and chat. It was a red ball that came very late, and we don't see that today. It hasn't even come yet. So the sun is getting into a bad habit these days. We're not able to see it on our own schedule. So it's an interesting little fact that today's reading mentions Berenice, or Berenice as it's spoken here in Israel. And sure enough, it's the reading they had yesterday, because it's mentioned in the New Testament, is the same first reading we have today. So you have the link, so we can comment on it. And maybe I'll just invite, before we start, Yisca, you want to come and say a little bit, or you want to say it afterwards? Whatever. Okay, well, let's start with the story first, and then you can come in and comment. So actually, once I was in Caesarea Maritima with a deacon, and we were doing a summer camp for Palestinian kids, the kids of our workers at Notre Dame. And obviously then I brought him to see some places, and he was we were in Caesarea, and we were in Herod's palace. And at that moment, he woke me up to something I was not so tuned into, and it was the dialogue between Paul and the governor, Festus. And this dialogue is so dramatic, and he impersonated in the main hall of the palace. And it almost felt like you were there. It was really, really something special. I never forget this. So we are reading then, I actually recommend that these stories, to read not just the passage today. You want to read the 3 chapters of Acts. I think it starts in 22 and it goes on to 25, 26. This is an amazing story. And it's so human, so dramatic, so intense. And there is such blessing for us listening to these conversations today. So you feel connected to the people of the time. So we have Paul there, and you have a new governor, and Herod comes to visit Agrippa, one of the Herods. You know, the Herods were an amazing family. Herod the Great, and then Herod Antipas, and now we have Herod Agrippa. It's amazing the way these guys worked, and their political manner. They were incredibly powerful, and they were for a small little place here. They were incredibly connected to Roman power. They could walk in and out of the White House any day, whenever they wanted. And here Tiberius is called Tiberius by Herod Antipas because of his friendship with the Emperor Tiberius. And we have Caesarea is called Caesarea because Herod the Great, his father, had a big friendship with Augustus Caesar. And now Agrippa is connected with the Roman governor, but he also was very influential, if I remember correctly, with Claudius the emperor. And Claudius would not become emperor without him. So this family that figures in the New Testament story so powerfully, it's a very interesting family to become aware of. And you know, in our times we have these major conflicts, and it was 2,000 years ago, and it was 4,000 years ago, and we're living in a world of challenges and conflicts. So I think that's enough about this commentary. I think you can read it yourself. And it's also interesting to see how a politician who's just totally secular I'm not sure if they would use the word at that time. Who knows how much they believed in their gods, probably not so much. And how Festus says, but they were just talking about religious things. So I wanted him to go to Jerusalem to be tried about those things there, and he appealed, because he was a Roman citizen, to go to Rome. And here we see a very interesting development historically, how Christianity spread to Rome, although Peter is already there, but this major figure also in Rome, Paul. And there's such a legacy culturally and historically from this development. And then we have Psalm 103. The Lord has established his throne in heaven. And you know, we have so many people jockeying for power in this world. Even some people have a throne inside the family, or inside a company, or in their organization, or in politics. And it's very hard for a lot of people because this person is sitting on the throne. And it's good for us to remember that there is somebody else sitting on a throne in heaven. And this person loves us. And we have so many proofs of this. For as the heavens are high above the earth, so surpassing is his kindness toward those who fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far has he put our transgressions from us. Maybe today we don't feel how far the east is from the west because of DHL and Federal Express and airplanes. It's only 7 hours, you know, from one country to another. It's only 12 hours from here to North America. So the east and the west got a lot closer. But for the ancient mind, as far as the east is from the west, that's about as far as you can go. It's like complete. You know, we can go around and see Mount Arbel. Here we have, with the sunrise we're waiting for, that's not coming, or not yet. And there we have Mount Arbel. So the west, where the sun sets this evening. As far as the east is from the west, so far the Lord puts our transgressions from us. That's exactly what a little child wants. They did something wrong. The parents don't remember anymore. It's as far away. It's not in their memory. It's not within reach. And the child is free to have a healthy relationship with their parents again. As far as the east is from the west, so far does the Lord put our transgressions away from us. This is such confidence. There is such deep insight in this ancient text. And we are reading this like people have read it for thousands of years. The sun is here. Thank you for alerting me. The sun is here, people. It came. We have the sun today. There comes the sun. So it's good that we waited a little bit. We had a later start, you know, but the timing is important, right? And it's already making its reflection on the water, a path of life on the water. And Yisca's course is about walking on the water, but none of the group has succeeded in doing this today so far. The text is beautiful. We're up at the Mount of Beatitudes, And just underneath the Mount of Beatitudes, up there, we can see the banana covers here, the plantations. Down at the foot of that hill, we have the primacy of Peter, and that's our gospel today. You know, we just have two more, today's gospel and tomorrow's, and then we have Pentecost. So we're finishing the Easter liturgical celebration. And what's the big message? It's connected to Holy Week, because Jesus has a fire prepared. And he said, asked Peter 3 times, do you love me? Why? And he doesn't call him Peter, he calls him Simon, his old name, to remember those times when they started their relationship. This is even good for married couples. And Peter put his foot in it 3 times, denying Jesus. Where? Beside a fire, warming himself. And so in this context, beside a fire, in the homey context for Peter of fishing, Jesus asked him 3 times, do you love me? And I don't know if you noticed, the pools are a little bit murky right now in the gardens, but there are 153 fish of Murano glass in the 2 pools. And there are many, many interpretations of what 153 mean. But this passage precedes the one we have today. And then there's this amazing conversation with Peter. So after broken relationships, there's the possibility of renewal and beginning again. It's so extraordinary to meet a couple that's 30 years married, 40 years married, 55 years married. It's so beautiful because it cannot have been heaven all the way. But the fact that renewing relationships, rebuilding them. One man told me, I've been married 5 times for a total of 40 years to the same woman. I've been married 5 times for a total of 40 years to the same woman. So, you know, our relationships go through crisis, severe crisis at times, and renewal. This is beautiful that the scriptures encourage us to renew relationships. Despite our failures, our tragic moments. And this is also a model for humanity. People might be very cynical and say, one more ceasefire. Give me a break. Well, give me a break. Exactly. Let's start again. And let's learn. And humanity is a slow learner. We learn some things very fast. And other things we don't want to learn. So there we have a great message of hope. And now I would like to invite Yisca to share what's in her heart. And actually we can still see the people from their back because you can speak here to us in front, Yisca. And now you can see Yisca's face. Moses didn't get to see that before. So you just go in front of the camera, Yisca. There's Yisca. Yisca is our second sunrise this morning. So, you know, when there's no sunrise, your face has to be the sunrise in your family. Sometimes our face is very hazy and cloudy and raining and cold, chilly, sends shivers down the spine. But our face can be a sunrise. This is what brings children to development. Yisca, the sun is trying to compete with you. And so I think if you just come a slight bit there, that's perfect position. So we have the sun and we have you. Okay? How about that? Let me see here. If I can just, let's do it a little bit more sideways. Well, it's kind of going to be challenging. Let me see if we just do a little experiment here. No, it's good. We'll just get closer to Yisca here like this. Oh, there's a nice position. Yisca.
Hi.
The field is all yours, Yisca.
Boker Tov. Just to say, in Hebrew, we have 2 ways to celebrate the morning. We say Boker Tov, a good morning, and the other one is Boker Or. a morning of light.
Yisca, we're going to leave the sun now that we saw that it's really here, and we're going to have you as the sunrise. I'm going to go this side of you so that we can have you here. This is much nicer. Now we have Yisca and Tiberius in the background, and we know the sun is over here, so it's not going to go away. There we go, Yisca.
Just very quickly to say good morning, Father Kelly. Good morning, Magdala. Good morning, world. It has been incredible to be here 3 days, living a little bit schizophrenic, knowing that there is a war out there, that there is a lot of problem. But we are here, and we were here with a desire to hold on to life, to hold on to normal, loving relationships. And then we get up this morning to a ceasefire between two opponents and hoping that a dialogue starting today, in a day of dialogue and diversity and appreciating development. I don't know if cultural, whatever development, just to develop something. And developing, the first and foremost thing for me is developing relationship. And Father Kelly, thank you very much, because we've developed relationship of communication and caring. And whatever you do when you're transmitting your message to the world, and whatever I'm doing, transmitting a message and dialoguing with my groups here, is the same. We're trying to develop just a better world. Boker Or, good morning, morning of light.
And Yisca, you want to say something in Hebrew, just a couple of lines for anybody who's listening in and just listening to English and having difficulty. Maybe you want to say a couple of lines in Hebrew. Not too long.
כן, שפה העברית זה שלנו. זו השפה שאיתה דיברו ישוע ומרים ושמעון ושאול, ועכשיו אני מדברת אל כל מי ששומע, כי זו השפה שאולי איתה גם ברא אלוהים את העולם. אז זה מה שיש לי להגיד, בוקר אור. זה מה שאלוהים עשה. ברא בוקר, ברא אור, ועכשיו אנחנו צריכים להמשיך ולפתח את הבוקר ואת האור. ובשביל זה אני פה.
תודה רבה. Thank you so much, Yisca. A lot of people love Yisca because she is a bridge builder. You know, this is one of the lines of our sunrise stroll and chat a few days ago, that even if people are breaking bridges, all of us have to build bridges. And we need to build them deeper and stronger and wiser than ever before. And we need, our human family on this planet needs more and more bridge builders, and Yisca should get the Bridge Builders Award. People, thank you so much for joining us on this precious morning. And now we have the sun in full view, reflecting on the waters, and each one here and all of you reflecting from the Philippines and Malaysia and Singapore and Australia to Alaska and Hawaii and California. We all say to the people over in California and the West of America, good night. We already started the day, so tomorrow is coming to you as well. God bless you. See you later, alligators.